What up? We're back for another video. Now today what we went over in class was the concept of cube roots. Okay, we've been going over square roots. Okay, now we're throwing in another form of radical which are called the cube roots. Okay, the symbol for a cube root is very special. Okay, it looks like this. Oh, Hernandez, that's a square root. It's a radical, it's the same thing. But a cube root has something special. It has a little 3 outside. That is a cube root. Okay, and that little 3 tells you how to solve the cube root. Okay, let's go over examples that we went over about square roots. So the square root of 64, hopefully you say it's 8, because 8 times 8 is 64. Well, don't forget positive, negative. The square root of 16 is 4, because 4 times 4 is 16. So for square roots, you're trying to find out two numbers that are the same that will give you the number inside. Now, when I went over in class, I didn't cover this. A square root actually has a tiny 2 outside. Okay, usually in math, we never tell you guys, oh, there's a 2 there. Okay, so that little 2 tells you what two numbers, when you multiply them together, they have to be the same number, will give you the number inside the square root symbol. So in this case, 8 times 8 will give you 64. Same thing here. What two numbers, when you multiply them together, will give you 16? Well, it's 4. So that's square roots, okay? Now we're talking about cube roots. Let's give you this one. Cube root of 8, okay? What this means is this. What number that when you multiply it 3 times, and it has to be the same number, if you multiply it 3 times, gives you 8. If you have no idea how to do this, just go in order, okay? Start with number 1. 1 times 1 times 1. Will that give you 8? No. So that's not it. Let's do 2 times 2 times 2. Well, 2 times 2 is 4, and then 4 times 2 is 8. There it is. What number, if you multiply it 3 times, gives you 8? 2. So the answer to this problem is 2. So you see the difference? For square root, you're trying to find out 2 numbers. But now for cube roots, you're trying to find out 3 numbers. Okay? Let's do the cube root of 27. What 3 numbers, when you multiply them together, is 27? Well, let's keep on going. 3 times 3 times 3, 27. There you go. The cube root of 27 is 3. And you're done. Once again, cube root, that little 3 tells you everything. What 3 numbers that are the same gives you the number inside. The square root is what 2 numbers will give you the number inside. So let's go over some examples very quickly. And then in class, I gave you cube roots. 5 cube roots that you need to know. So let me list them right here. You need to know that the cube root of 1 equals 1. Write these down if you were absent today in class. Cube root of 8 is 2. Cube root of 27 is 3. Cube root of 64 is 4. And then cube root of 125 is 5. Okay? So let's go over an example. These are the cube roots that you should know. Okay? Number 1. Cube root of 27 plus cube root of 64. Pretty simple problem. Here we go. Go step by step. This is cube root. What number, if you multiply it 3 times, gives you 27? Look at the list. 3. So this is 3 plus cube root of 64. What number, if you multiply it 3 times, gives you 64? Don't say it's 8, because 8 times 8 times 8 is not 64. The square root of 64 is 8, yes, but not the cube root. The cube root of 64 is 4. So this is 4. Then you add these 2 numbers together, your final answer is 7. There's that one. Let's do another one. Skip a line. Okay, let's do this one. Second one. 7 cube root of 8. Okay, remember, leave a number on the outside alone. You don't touch it. Let's do this one. cube root of 8. What number, if you multiply it 3 times, gives you 8? What's right there? 2. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. So this becomes a 2. Now remember, when the numbers are attached, you multiply them. 7 times 2, 14. You're done. See how easy these are? Let's do a couple more. Let's do 2 more, that's it. Number 3. 5 cube root of 92 plus 8 plus 25. Here we go. It looks difficult, but it's actually pretty easy. Well, you can't do anything with the 5, so I will drop it, okay? Now I would add up all of this right here, okay? All of it inside. Cube root of 92 plus 8 plus 25. So if I add it up, 13, 14, 15, 10, 11, 12, oh, 125. And this is a mistake that people make. They multiply 5 times 125. Ladies and gentlemen, did we even touch the cube root? We didn't. So bring the cube root down. You didn't touch it. 5 drops again. What's the cube root of 125? What number, if you multiply it 3 times, gives you 125? So if you look at your list, it's 5. Multiply it together. 5 times 5 now is 25. See how simple these are? Cube roots, square roots are similar. Here's a similar concept. Okay, but don't get them twisted. Don't get them confused. Let's do one more. Let's give you this one. 8 square root 14 plus 50 plus 2 cube root 27. Do you guys see this? It's totally different. You have a cube root here, but then you have a square root there. So don't get them confused. Let's start. You can't do anything with an 8. There it is. Let's do what's inside here. 14 plus 50, 64. Let me ask you this. Did you touch this radical symbol? No, you didn't. Drop it down. Okay, let's keep on going. Plus 2. What's a cube root of 27? You guys can simplify this one. Well, cube root of 27 is 3 times 3. Okay, let's keep on going. Square root of 64. It's not a cube root. A square root is what 2 numbers give you 64. In this case, will be 8. So this becomes 8. Oh look, you already had an 8 outside. Bring it down. That means they're multiplying. I'm just going to recopy that just to make it easy. 8 times 8, 64, plus 2 times 3 is 6. 64 plus 6 is 70. And there you go. Now I'm going to show you an example that always comes up in the quiz. It's not an example, but it's kind of so you can differentiate between square roots and cube roots. So that's that one. Okay. I always put this question on an exam or a quiz. So if you're watching this video, you're lucky. You're getting a free question. Square root of 64 versus cube root of 64. And usually I always ask, according to Stacy, these two have the same answer. Do you agree or disagree? A lot of students will say they agree that the answer is 8. But look at it though. This is a square root. This is a cube root. Totally different. Similar concept, but it's different. A square root is what numbers if you multiply it together 2 times. Remember there's a hidden 2 there. What number if you multiply it 2 times gives you 64? This is 8. This is the cube root of 64. It says what number if you multiply it 3 times gives you 64? That's 4. So you need to be careful between square roots and cube roots, okay? Square roots is what number that is the same gives you 2 numbers that are the same will give you the number inside. Versus a cube root is what number that is the same when you multiply them gives you that number that's inside. Once again, the way you remember is looking at the little number. If it has a 3 there, that's a cube root. And if it doesn't have anything, you automatically assume it's a square root. So these are your cube roots. That's how you simplify cube roots. Make sure you memorize these. okay, for your quiz and exam. And that's it. We'll see you on the next video.